Here on the North Shore, the only resort is at Turtle Bay, and everybody else is a drive-by tourist. So they leave Waikiki in the morning, they get out here about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Invariably, they all go to Turtle Beach down by Laniakea, create a massive traffic jam, which is a whole nother issue. And then, of course, Waimea Bay. And when the surf is big, they come to the Pipeline and Sunset Beach and Waimea Bay. The change since COVID-19 has happened is it's gone back to like it was in the 60s. There's only a few cars traveling on Cam Highway. It's actually so pleasant because now you have the residents who live here like to go to the beach. At least we get to still go surfing. And you really notice the difference between the impact that the tourists had on the North Shore versus the residents that live here. So I'd say the biggest change is sort of a reverting back to the 60s when things were a lot more mellow, there was no traffic, and you were able to enjoy the whole purpose of why you moved to the North Shore. As a director of the Triple Crown of Surfing for years and years, I promoted the North Shore as a destination for people to come and see the big surf, watch the surfing competitions, and really was proud to promote the North Shore. But that really changed in about the last 5 to 8 years. What happened was the influx of tourists was overwhelming. The Cam Highway, two-lane highway, it really can't bear the traffic. The impact on the beach parks just overrun with the amount of people there. And obviously people want to see the surf and want to come to the beaches in the summertime, but there's a carrying capacity that gets reached, and I think we've passed that carrying capacity because really what happens now is those of us that live here, and as I said, we moved to the North Shore to get away from town. You know, we moved to the country to enjoy the lifestyle out here. It's a lot slower, don't have the amenities the town has and what have you, but really you wanted to get away from those crowds, and now unfortunately those crowds have, with social media, it has made the North Shore a destination. This change that we're experiencing now was forced upon us by the COVID-19. And all of a sudden, you kind of look and see, wow, I didn't think about this before. I mean, like I said, I'm a resident of the North Shore for 50 years, and I've just come to accept it. More and more people, more and more tourists, more and more crowded. That's just sort of the... But then all of a sudden, when you see this change that was forced upon us, it makes you reassess that, hey, maybe change isn't such a bad thing. Maybe there's a way that we can take this change and learn from it. And like I said, the roads on the North Shore are two-lane roads. The capacity that we've got probably the worst potholes on the entire island here on the North Shore. So maybe there's something about less traffic, so the roads are better. The beaches, instead of being just influx of people in the summertime and a zillion people to come watch during the surf season, maybe 2/3 of that many people would be enough that they'd still get a thrill, the business would still make money, we'd still be able to surf without a crowd, we'd still be able to sit on the beach without a crowd. So maybe this change has actually been a blessing in disguise, a little bit of silver lining to see how it could be, and maybe there is a way that we could adjust and somewhere get a balance here where the people that need to make money in the economy and those that run businesses get some of it, and those of us that live here and instead of giving up our lifestyle that we came here for, we give up a little bit, but we get back a little bit. And so perhaps there's a better balance that we could really look at now and possibly apply that moving forward.